Okay guys, so we should be live, which is very, very exciting. Bear with me 1 second. Okay, so welcome to today's stream. We're going to be talking about a few different topics in the movie news world. We're going to be diving into these following topics. So I'll lay out here quickly the topics. So the first one is going to be video game developer for Marvel's Black Panther enforces ban on white people. So that's going to be our first topic. Then we're going to be diving into this. Disney may have fired X-Men 97 showrunner, Beau DeMayo, over allegedly unsettling, creepy OnlyFans account. That's going to be a very, very interesting story to jump into. Then we have Late Night with the Devil achieves a perfect 100% score on Rotten Tomatoes. So this is a very cool indie film, 100% Rotten Tomatoes score. Again, a very interesting topic to dive into, seeing what this movie is all about. Then we have from Marvel. Marvel Studios confirms early development on Nova project, updates on Wonderman and Ironheart revealed. So that's all good. We've got some Marvel news there to dive into and see what's going on with the latest Marvel projects. And also, our main topic for tonight's video, we're going to be checking out the Chinese trailer for Godzilla x Kong, The New Empire, which gives us plenty of new footage. And yeah, that's going to be amazing to dive into. We have some really, really nice footage in store for us there, which is going to be a treat for kaiju fans. So guys, let's start off with the first subject. Video game developer for Marvel's Black Panther enforces ban on white people. So, you know, we're a movie news channel. We don't normally kind of deal with political issues, so I'm not going to be giving my personal insights into politics and all that kind of stuff. But it does affect the entertainment that we get to see and how it works. So it's entertaining to kind of talk about nonetheless. So, let's jump into this. So, Danny Lalondes acknowledges non-hiring of white individuals to foster a safe working environment. So, according to this person behind the Black Panther video game developer, seems to think that white people are dangerous to work with and doesn't want to hire white people. So, make of that what you will, but let's dive in and see if they have a reason for that statement. So it's come to light that a developer involved in development of Marvel's Black Panther video game has a history of banning white individuals from working in the company and on projects. That sounds remotely racist on the surface. I mean, I don't know how you would describe that other than being racist, but you know, it is what it is. So, the announcement of the Black Panther video game last summer highlighted its commitment to showcasing diverse voices and perspective. Sounds exactly like Marvel, sounds exactly like Disney, the kind of PR spin you expect from their company. So, the game is being crafted by a fresh division of Electronic Arts, Cliffhanger Games, which was enlisted Danny Lalondes. For the project's development, Lalondes described on her official website as an associate narrative designer, as Cliffhanger Games, working on Black Panther, is spearheading the narrative direction of the game. This sounds like something that I think the game itself will be really, really interesting. You know, a Black Panther Marvel game, sign me up. I love Black Panther, I love Marvel. And playing Black Panther in Marvel's Avengers game was actually quite fun, even though the game was pretty trash itself. But nonetheless, I like this image here. The costume looks amazing. This is from Marvel's Avengers. This isn't from the upcoming Black Panther game, just to let you know. So, a video from 2021 has resurfaced where Danny Lalondes admits to having no white people on our team, and that she did that intentionally to create a safe environment. So again, it seems like this person behind the Black Panther game seems to think that white people create a non-safe working environment. Not sure what the justification for that would be. So she goes on to say here, we have no white people on our team, Lalondes said during a stream for the game's devs of Color Expo in 2021. While working on Validate, I did that because I wanted to create a safe environment, and I know the best way for an environment to be safe is around people who are just like me. Obviously, she's colored. She comes, you know, she's a colored lady. She comes from a colored background, and for some reason doesn't seem to trust white people or doesn't want to work with white people. She continued, I'm not saying white people in the industry are creating unsafe environments. That sounds exactly like what she's saying. I'm not saying that. That is not what I'm saying. I'm saying sometimes it's hard to work with white people because they think something is okay, but it's really a microaggression. So it seems like this person gets triggered very, very easily, finds things racist, and apparently white people can easily do microaggressions towards other minorities. Whether she's had a bad experience in her past working with white people, it does sound like it from, from what I'm hearing. But this inherently does sound a little bit racist, not hiring white people. And yeah, if it was the other way around, it would be all up in the news. People would be going crazy. If, people were refusing to hire black or Hispanics or whatever the ethnicity may be. So she added, and no one wants to deal with that. And while we're trying to make a game that they love. Okay, so no one wants to deal with that. Yeah, it does sound like, again, it does sound like she's had some sort of history where she's had a bad experience working with white people for whatever reason it may be. And, doesn't want to hire white people. So this is Dani Lalondes, a non-binary game developer. She was hired by Cliffhanger Devs to create a game based on Marvel's Black Panther. She says she doesn't hire white people because they're unsafe and it's hard to work with them, and it only hires people of color. So what is, moving on anyway, so that was Dani Lalondes behind the game, doesn't want to hire white people because of microaggressions. Yeah, just sounds like a bad history working with white people, and then doesn't want to hire them. But surely coming out and stating that as a fact in the public sphere, surely there would be some knockback. Surely Marvel would talk to her and say, look, you can't be saying this stuff, and you can't refuse to hire white people. That's inherently racist, regardless of what you think about them. But anyway, changing gears slightly. So what is Marvel's Black Panther game actually about? So, we're dedicated to delivering fans a definitive and authentic Black Panther experience, giving them more agency and control over the narrative than they have ever experienced in a story-driven video game. So Wakanda is a rich superhero sandbox, and our mission is to develop an epic world of players who love Black Panther and want to explore a world of Wakanda as much as we do, said Kevin Stevens of Monolith Productions at the time of the announcement. The company added, as we begin this remarkable journey, we're excited to be working with Marvel Games to ensure that we craft every aspect of Wakanda, its technology, its heroes, and our own original story with the attention to detail and authenticity the world of Black Panther deserves. I would really, really love to run around in Wakanda dressed as Black Panther, fighting people, upgrading my suit, upgrading my character as I go along. I think that sounds super fun. Black Panther is such a cool character, such a rich background in that Wakanda kind of tribal warfare that we saw in the movies. That playing out in a game, I think, would be really, really kind of enthralling. I think a lot of people would really like that. It's an incredibly rare opportunity to build a new team around the values of diversity, collaboration, and empowerment, said Stevens. We want our game to enable players to feel what it's like to be worthy of the Black Panther mantle in a unique, story-driven ways, and we want Cliffhanger Games to empower everyone on our team as we collaborate to bring this amazing world to life. So yeah, there we go. Black Panther standalone game. It sounds really, really cool, having that rich Wakanda heritage. But again, this person on the development team, Dani Lalondes, saying she doesn't want to work with white people, doesn't hire white people. There should be some knockback on this, whether there will be in the news in recent days, in the next few days. As I said, if it was the other way around, refusing to hire any other kind of minorities, people would be all up in it. It would be controversial all over the place. So we'll have to see if there is any knockback when it comes to this story. But anyway, guys, let's move on to our second topic of today's live stream. So on our second topic, we have, again, more Marvel news. So Disney may have fired X-Men 97 showrunner Beau DeMayo over allegedly unsettling creepy OnlyFans account. So yeah, this is Beau DeMayo here. He's worked on several different Marvel projects. I believe he wrote a treatment for Blade. He's done X-Men 97 Season 1, and they enjoyed Season 1 so much, he's written Season 2 as well. But whether they're going to keep his script after he's been fired, we'll have to wait and see. So, new insights emerge. X-Men 97 showrunner Beau DeMayo's dismissal by Marvel Studios linked to Disney executives' discomfort with his OnlyFans account. So, having an OnlyFans account, obviously, it can be controversial in some circles, I guess, due to the adult nature of kind of what it is. You're selling mature videos or pictures of yourself across the internet. People see it, people see that in different ways. Some people find it acceptable, some don't. But when you're working for a company like Disney, it's a family-friendly venture. The company, they want to maintain that family-friendly image, and to have one of their employees involved in OnlyFans and selling, whatever pictures or videos of themselves, I can understand why Disney would really, really not like that. But earlier this week, the shocking news surfaced that Marvel Studios had ousted X-Men 97 showrunner Beau DeMayo, sparking widespread speculation on the reasons behind his abrupt dismissal dismissal, sorry, just before the show's press tour was set to kick off. Yeah, so he actually had like a press tour scheduled with different interviews right before X-Men 97 kicked off, and he was due to do all that kind of publicity, and then out of nowhere, he was just dismissed, he was fired, and people were really confused and puzzled. They really enjoyed his work on the first season. They hired him to write the second season, and people said that he was great, you know, at making content for Marvel and Disney. And it was a really big mystery as to why he was fired. And now it looks like the reason has come to light with this whole OnlyFans, you know, kind of debacle, if you like. So, dispelling social media rumors, sources indicate that DeMayo's firing was unrelated to his race or sexual orientation. Instead, according to Jeff Snyder's report on Tornado.com, it appears that DeMayo's management style was described as an absolute nightmare, suggesting he posed challenges behind the scenes of the X-Men, the animated series revival. Yeah, but then again, he couldn't have caused that much of an issue because, like I said, they enjoyed his work on Season 1 so much that they hired him to do Season 2, and I believe he started work on Season 3 as well, like doing storyboards and coming up with ideas. So they were really enjoying the work he was doing, so there wasn't a problem there. I'm not sure how much I put stock in that statement of him having bad management. Further complicating matters, DeMayo reportedly drew attention from Disney executives over his activities on OnlyFans, where his non-nude content raised eyebrows and was deemed unsettling and creepy. See, this is where I could understand. Like I say, Disney, they're a really family-friendly kind of company, and they might not want to be having one of their employees representing an OnlyFans account. You know, I can understand why they might want to part ways with someone who's doing OnlyFans stuff. I get that, especially given Disney. They're at the forefront of family entertainment, and they're very, very strict when it comes to that kind of stuff. So I do completely understand it. As for now, DeMayo has refrained from commenting on his situation and recently deleted his Instagram account. His departure from the project occurred some time ago, marked by frequent clashes with fans over the direction of the show. So, Variety recently sat down with the creative team behind X-Men 97 to discuss the reintroduction of Morph, now portrayed by a non-binary as sporting a revamped appearance compared to the original X-Men, the animated series, iteration. Yeah, so there was a lot of kickback, a lot of controversy, you know, people calling it woke, the fact that X-Men 97 also had the introduction of this Morph character as a non-binary character, and a lot of people were very, very unhappy when they heard about that. Obviously, the term woke gets thrown around. Whether it's right or wrong, whether you're right or wrong to feel that way, you know, if you don't like the fact that there's a non-binary character, then just don't watch the show. It's very, very easy, you know, and it is what it is. There's no right or wrong answer. Some people, you know, feel like that, some people don't, and, you know, we're not going to get into that whole political debate about that kind of thing, but it is what it is. So the animated series iteration, while this decision has sparked debate and been labelled as woke, which we just talked about, the creators have responded to critics who have voiced their concerns. So the creators go on to say, for me the word non-binary is the same as the word shapeshifter, Larry Houston says. Every character that can change from one gender to another, or from human to animal, that's just another word for shapeshifter to me. Eric Lord believes that the first signs of this change were made appearance during X-Men, the animated series, second season. That's back in, you know, back in the 90s when the original seasons were on. He attacks Wolverine, his closest friend, in the most dramatic way by turning into Jean Grey and putting his hand on Wolverine's neck and leaning in for a kiss. That's a non-binary as you can get. This is talking about the Morph character in Season 2 back in 97. Saying that the Morph character, you know, changed sex and changed into different animals and different things back in the original X-Men series. So it's no different to what's happening now. It's just obviously the political sphere is a lot different now. So it's Morph turning into a woman and coming on to Wolverine to freak him out. It was all there in Morph's character. Now it's become such a social thing that I think people are more sensitive to how it's used. That's the only difference. We didn't see the problem in reading him and didn't feel he was any different. So, did we teach you people nothing? Were you not watching? Did we not figure out how to be nice to each other and how to get along? It's very odd to feel like we're still dealing with the same issues that we were dealing with 30 years ago. It's painful. And that comes from the creatives behind the X-Men series. So Morph's anticipated pivotal role in X-Men 97 aligns with the creative team's vision for the character, which has received widespread support. As the show approaches its debut on March 20th, audiences eagerly await to see how this mutant will contribute to the series, unique perspectives they bring to the table. So yeah, there's plenty of controversy to go around with this X-Men 97, Beau DeMayo, the main writer behind the show, is fired due to his OnlyFans account. Obviously, Disney, they probably asked him to take it down. He probably refused, and therefore they probably had to let him go. Disney being a family company, I kind of get it. They don't want to be associated with that kind of stuff. I absolutely get it. And it looks like this whole non-binary character as well has stirred up some controversy on Twitter. That's kind of what Twitter's good for these days. But yeah, guys, so that's kind of our second topic there, talking about X-Men 97 and, you know, the creative writer behind it being fired for his OnlyFans. So let's move on to our third topic of tonight's stream. By the way, guys, thank you so much for being here. If you are watching this after the fact, when we're not live, you know, after the live stream's finished, I do appreciate you being here. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with all of our content. And check out my channel and some of the other videos that we have going on. Plenty of pop culture news on the channel. Plenty of videos to check out. I would really appreciate that, guys. Thank you very much. So, this one's very, very interesting. I saw this morning. It came out of nowhere. I'd never even heard of this movie. So, Late Night with the Devil achieves a perfect 100% score on Rotten Tomatoes. So, this movie called Late Night with the Devil, it's about a talk show from the 1970s. It features, you know, this girl here who's like possessed by a devil or a demon to some degree, and stuff starts going on this talk show, you know, possession kind of antics, but it looks really, really interesting. So, Late Night with the Devil, the latest found footage style horror film featuring David DeMayo. I can never say this name. DeMayo has received its critical verdict. Critics are praising the movie as equally funny, witty, and terrifying. So next week, audiences will experience Late Night with the Devil, a new found footage horror film. There needs to be more found footage horror. I really, really do enjoy found footage horror. I think it's great. Directed and edited by Australian siblings Cameron and Colin Keynes, I think that's how you say it. The early reviews have brought forth high praise, marking a promising start for the movie's theatrical release. So, with 46 reviews at the time of this being written, Late Night with the Devil boasts a flawless Rotten Tomatoes score, earning the coveted Certified Fresh label at 100%. Whenever you hear about a movie that's coming out and the reviews are at 100%, always piques my interest. Even if it's from a genre or a film that I might not necessarily like, when you see a movie has 100% in every single review, unanimously agrees that the movie is great, no matter what it is. It always piques my interest, and I'm always willing to check out a movie if it has 100% Rotten Tomatoes. So, delightfully dark, Late Night with the Devil proves a possession horror isn't played out, and serves as an outstanding showcase of David Malashane. I'm going to call him Malashane. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, so I apologize. Reads the critic consensus. So, the Suicide Squad actor Jack Delroy, host of the fictional 1970s variety and late night talk show titled Night Owls with Jack Delroy. The film purports to be derived from a rediscovered master tape of an episode from the show's 6th season, broadcast on Halloween in 1977. During this live television broadcast, havoc unfolds when Delroy interviews a parapsychologist, Laura Gordon, and the subject of her recent book, a young teenager who was the sole survivor of a satanic church's mass suicide. That right there, synopsis, interviewing a young girl who was the sole survivor of a satanic church mass suicide. I'm like, what? This sounds crazy. And she's possessed, and stuff in the talk studio starts happening in front of a live audience. You know, bulbs start smashing, and, you know, tables start moving, and all kinds of crazy stuff. And yeah, it sounds really, really cool. So everyone has a demon inside them. Jack Delroy's desperate attempt to save his late night talk show unleashes evil into the living rooms of America in Late Night with the Devil, opening in theaters March 22. Obviously, I can't play this clip in its entirety because of copyright, guys, but we can have a quick scan through. So, as you can see, 1970s late night talk show is filmed from like a mockumentary perspective, so it's a very kind of realistic looking late night talk show, as if it was kind of like a lost tape that actually, you know, existed, hence the found footage. So he's interviewing this parapsychologist and this young girl here. She looks very innocent, looks very sweet. And she starts talking, and she says that she has a devil inside of her called Mr. Wiggle. He's called Mr. Wiggle because he wiggles into her brain, and like, it's really creepy, the quotes that she says. And as you can see, he's interviewing both of them. And in the studio, light bulbs start to smash, stuff starts to happen. And basically, yeah, this crowd looks weird. It's filmed on Halloween, so that explains the Halloween costumes. But yeah, so they're in the studio, like the table starts to rumble, and the rafters start to vibrate, and stuff starts going on around the studio. And that's kind of what the clip shows. I wish I could show it, but obviously, like I said, due to copyright, I can't show it, unfortunately. But yeah, so Rotten Tomatoes, Late Night with the Devil is officially certified fresh at 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. So this is great to see. And bear with me 1 second. I'm just going to pull up the live stream on my phone. Just want to check that it's working okay. Let me just go on to here. So, content, live. Okay. So, let's go down. So, Late Night with the Devil, original, committed, authentic. DeMayo, working out new muscles, carrying every scene with gravitas and depth. He's the pillar of all that rests, and he engages with Albom. Film gets bumpy in the final act, but lands it well. See it with a crowd. Late Night with the Devil. Oh no, we've already got that one. We've got the same. Oh, we've got the same post here 3 times. That's not good. So, Late Night with the Devil is an instant horror classic directed by Cameron and Colin Cairns. With perfect precision and style, David DeMayo is incredible and gives one of the best performances of the year. Charismatic and gripping from start to end. Yeah, 100%. It sounds absolutely fantastic. I can't wait to see this. This little girl being possessed in a 1970s late night talk show. Sounds like a concept we haven't seen before. Late Night Devil is best experienced on a big screen to maximize the viewer brain melt. Viewer brain melt. I like that. DeMayo has the range, set design, practical FX, wild that found footage DNA with heavy 70s drip. It's brilliant. I want to screen this once again and again. So, as anticipation builds for release of Late Night with the Devil, the glowing reviews signal an exciting prospect for horror fans. With the perfect Rotten Tomatoes score and promising feedback from critics, it's shaping up to be a must-see cinematic experience. So, guys, mark your calendar, check it out at your local theatre if you're interested in this kind of movie. It sounds really cool. The concept sounds unique. But let's move on to our next topic of the stream. So, and by the way, I just want to let you know, if my camera dies, I do apologize. It's on low battery, so it could give out at any second. I hope it doesn't. But if you haven't noticed, I'm up here in the top right-hand corner. Maybe you haven't noticed. I'm not sure. But yeah, so on to more Marvel news. So Marvel Studios confirms early development of Nova project, updates on Wonderman and Ironheart revealed. So yeah, there's been rumblings and rumors about a Nova project, and obviously we've had the behind-the-scenes images of Wonderman, and there's been kind of, Ironheart's kind of been in limbo. We haven't really heard much about Ironheart. So Brad Winterbaum, Marvel's head of streaming, animation and television, has provided exciting updates on multiple upcoming MCU projects. Among the revelations, Winterbaum has confirmed that Nova series is currently in early development. So despite a few recent rumours circulating, official updates on Marvel Studios' plan for Nova have been scarce since the reports from the trade surfaced in 2022, indicating a project centred around the spacefaring hero was in development. Now it appears that a Nova series is indeed in early stages of development, providing fans with a fresh hope and anticipation for what lies ahead in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And the creatives went on to say the following: "We love Nova. We are in really early development on Nova." Marvel's head of streaming, animation and television, Brad Winterbaum, tells comicbookmovie.com. "We have a new system behind the scenes at Marvel Studios. We're more like a traditional studio now. We're developing more than we actually will produce. There are plans to develop Nova. I love Nova 2. I love Rich Rider 2. I hope it gets to the screen. The world is always chaos. There's always things. You gotta conjure these things to make them happen. But I would love to see a Nova show one day." So to me, that doesn't sound definitive. It sounds like they're making a lot of stuff in, probably in early pre-production stages. But it sounds like it's not official that it's going to make it to the screen. It seems like they're working on it. But Bob Iger is doing a lot of kind of damage control at Disney. Cancelling a lot of projects behind the scenes that he doesn't feel is going to be worthy of kind of the Disney brand. So we'll have to wait and see if this show actually comes to fruition. It sounds like it's not 100% positive, but hopefully it will, because I think Nova series will be quite interesting to watch if they can stick the landing and if they can improve the quality if the quality is better than what they've been putting out in recent years. Obviously, the MCU's on a bit of a downtrend, so... The latest insights from Brad Winterbaum suggest a shift in Marvel Studios' plans for a Nova debut in Marvel Cinematic Universe. Previously, it was anticipated that Rich Rider or possibly Sam Alexander would make his entrance on the big screen. However, Winterbaum's remarks hint at the possibility of a Nova project taking shape as a Disney Plus series or potentially as a special presentation. Yeah, whenever I hear something's going to be a Disney Plus series now, I'm just like, I don't really care. After the crap that they've been putting out on Disney Plus, like, I really don't care about their series all that much. I'm looking forward to Deadpool and Wolverine this year, but, you know, I'm just not that excited for Marvel anymore like I used to be, and it's kind of disappointing. But we have the reboot of DC. I'm really excited for what DC are doing, just to go off on a tangent. And sorry, I got an itchy nose. So we have an awesome picture of Nova here. Pretty damn cool character. I think he looks awesome. Would love to see this on the big screen. So while speculation initially linked to Nova's introduction to Guardians of the Galaxy franchise, following the introduction of the Nova Corps in the first film, director James Gunn showed minimal interest in incorporating the character. Instead, it's likely the Nova series, if indeed that's the format, will stem from the aftermath of Thanos' devastating blow to the Nova Corps in the lead up to Avengers Infinity War. Yeah, that would be an interesting time to kind of set that kind of series in. Regarding casting, persistent rumours suggest that Ryan Gosling may be in discussions for Marvel Studios about taking on the role of Nova. I believe there's a lot of rumours about him potentially playing Ghost Rider as well that have been popping up recently. I don't know if there's any stock to put in that, but that would be an interesting casting. So adding further intrigue to the unfolding narrative of Nova's journey in the MCU. The actor known for his role in Barbie hasn't exhibited significant enthusiasm about the idea of portraying a superhero or becoming part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe in past interviews. I don't think there's many actors that want to be part of the MCU at the moment, given its track record. It's on a downtrend. Also, the thing is, when you sign with Marvel, you have to sign like multi-picture deals that extend for years and years. And, you know, people don't always want to be in multi-film deals. They don't want to be in like 5 or 6 films 10 years into the future. Some actors want to come in and do one film and then kind of leave. And Marvel doesn't always allow them to do that. So, where are we? There have been instances where he expressed a potential interest in exploring characters like Ghost Rider, which we already talked about, hinting at the willingness to delve into the realm of superhero roles. His stance appeared to soften slightly during a press engagements for the Russo brothers' The Grey Man last year, leaving fans to speculate about the possibility of him embracing the role of the Spirit of Vengeance and other characters within the MCU. So he went on to say, I think they felt my energy, he said about working with the Avengers Infinity War and Endgame directors. They must have felt it before I did. I hope they can manifest this MCU thing. I think that would be cool. So it sounds like Ryan Gosling is definitely open to playing an MCU role, whether that could be Ghost Rider, whether that could be Nova. He's a talented, world-class performer, so it'd be great to have him in the MCU to some degree. We'll have to see if that manifests in the near future. So while Moon Knight scribe Sabir Pirzada, I think that's how you say it, was initially reported to be crafting the script for the Nova project, there's a possibility that a fresh creative team could be brought on board by the time the production commences. So in a separate interview with Agents of Fandom, Brad Winterbaum reassured fans that both Ironheart and Wonderman projects are still in development. We know Wonderman is definitely in development because we saw all the behind the scenes images coming out on Twitter, so we know they're definitely deep into development and shooting the series. But didn't they have an on-set accident where someone died on the set of Wonderman? So I believe that kind of threw a wrench into the works. Whether they're back into production, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I'm pretty sure they had a significant fatality where someone fell off the rafters. It was before they started shooting, but someone was on the rafters where they were filming it in the studio, and someone like fell off the rafters and died. I believe that was the case. So, dispelling recent rumors of cancellation, yeah, absolutely, we're editing both of those shows as we speak. They're spectacular, they're amazing, and they're different. We're able to explore corners of the universe that are really exciting. Riri Williams is one of them, and I cannot wait for people to meet Simon Williams. I don't think people care all that much about Ironheart. It's a derivative kind of copycat character of, it seems like a bargain basement version of Iron Man. You know, I don't know if people are going to be attracted to, you know, a young teenage girl who basically tries to copy Iron Man's armor. Are people going to really care about that? I'm not sure that they are. Exciting updates continue to emerge from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, promising an array of thrilling new projects on the horizon. As speculation swells around the development of Nova and the potential involvement of Ryan Gosling, along with the confirmation of Ironheart and Wonder Man's progress, despite swirling rumours that MCU's future looks brighter than ever. I would say so-so. You know, Deadpool and Wolverine, that's going to be a massive high point if that movie sticks to landing. You know, people are going to be all back on board for Marvel, but then they've got to continue the quality, to increase the quality going forward. If they keep having disaster after disaster after Deadpool and Wolverine, you know, the MCU could potentially need a reboot in the next few years. You know, we need to get the main characters of, you know, Captain America and Iron Man back in the MCU. It feels lost without those characters. So what are your thoughts on these latest developments? Are you eagerly anticipating the debut of Nova? Who would you like to see portray the iconic character? Share your opinions and predictions in the comments below. So yeah, guys, there we go. So, you know, it looks like they're on early sort of production stages of the Nova series. It's not 100% sure whether it's going to come to fruition. Hopefully it will. And then we've got Ironheart and Wonderman. They're being edited right now as we speak. And those shows are into heavy development and they will definitely be coming out at some point. So let me know, are you interested in either of those shows, Wonderman or kind of Ironheart? Do either of those kind of pique your interest? And what do you think about Ryan Gosling portraying Nova in a series if that does come to fruition? So guys, let's move on to our main topic of tonight's video. This is the best part. So we have here Chinese trailer for Godzilla x Kong, The New Empire. Showcases additional titans and spotlights the mighty Scar King and Shimo. Shimo, for those of you who may not know, that's the name of the big ice dragon that's going to be in the movie. That looks really awesome. We saw it in footage of, you know, like Kong fighting the ice dragon. And it looks really awesome. Obviously, we have Scar King here. It's the kind of ape antagonist that Godzilla and Kong are going to have to team up to take on. And he looks pretty badass. I can't wait to see what he does. But the footage that we've seen so far, man, he looks like he's going to be throwing down punches. But yeah, so new Chinese trailer and poster for Godzilla x Kong, The New Empire reveal more titans and highlight the Scar King as a powerful adversary. With less than 2 weeks remaining until the highly anticipated release of Godzilla x Kong The New Empire, excitement is reaching fever pitch as a new Chinese trailer and poster for the sequel have just surfaced online via sffgazette.com. Man, I cannot wait. Only a few weeks away. I've been waiting so long to see this movie. It looks ridiculous. Don't get me wrong. I'm so there for it. Take my money. Godzilla, Kong fighting Scar King and, you know, Shimu the Frost Dragon. It's over the top. It's ridiculous compared to Godzilla -1. But it just looks so damn fun. Just, yeah. You know, we saw that footage of Kong riding on the back of Godzilla. If that's not ridiculous, then I don't know what is. So, the latest footage introduces even more new titans, including one engaged in a fierce battle with Godzilla, alongside the imposing presence of a monstrous Scar King. Positioned as the primary adversary for the titular duo, the Scar King appears to be a formidable opponent. Additionally, viewers catch a glimpse of Suko, a pint-sized titan believed to be the offspring of the villain, poised to potentially align with Godzilla and Kong. Yeah, so we've seen in footage, there's like a mini Kong. You know, there's that bit of footage in the trailer where Kong, the mist kind of departs, and then we see like a mini kind of ape. And that's supposedly going to be Scar King's child. And we'll have to see how he factors into the story. But, you know, is he going to side with Godzilla and Kong? So we have this awesome poster here that I found on Instagram. Godzilla x Kong. And we have Godzilla coming out of the hollow earth. And kind of this whirlpool. And then his atomic breath firing up through the middle. Sorry, my nose is really itchy. But yeah, this artwork here is awesome. It looks super, super cool. I love this. So, from a visual standpoint, Godzilla x Kong, The New Empire promises an exhilarating experience. By the way, we are going to take a look at some footage from that Chinese trailer down below, so just be patient with me for a sec. Experience for kaiju enthusiasts. While some fans may yearn for the grounded approach of earlier films like Godzilla and Kong Skull Island, the prospect of witnessing epic monster showdowns is sure to captivate audiences. Absolutely. Get a bunch of monsters, throw them into a city, throw them down, you know, just throwing, you know, each other through buildings, wrecking havoc, you know, just going crazy. And, yeah, man, a lot of people are going to be excited about this movie. So earlier this year, director Adam Wingard was asked about the franchise's monstrous big bad, the Scar King, and teased, what's interesting about this film is that we go in a direction that I don't think this series has ever seen before, which is that the Scar King is, in a way, the closest that the human threat has ever been juxtaposed onto a titan itself. The Scar King almost represents an upscaled version of the worst parts of humanity, just as Kong represents some of the best parts of humanity, the filmmaker added. I would say that the Scar King is the greatest threat that we've seen in these movies. It's really going to take a full team together to bring down it because it's too big for just one Titan. Yeah, so they're kind of using the worst parts of humanity and representing that through Scar King, which I think is really, really cool. Obviously, being an ape-like, protagonist, you can kind of have that human element into him, which is kind of cool. But using Kong as a kind of juxtaposition, Kong is the good parts of humanity, Scar King is the worst of humanity, and then kind of having that clash, I think that's a really, really cool kind of subtext within the movie. So take a closer look at Godzilla x Kong, the new Empire trailer and poster in the following X post below. So here we have the footage. Again, I can't play it in its entirety because of copyright, but what we can do, we can have a look at some of these awesome, awesome scenes throughout the trailer, I was going to say. So obviously we start off with Kong here. It looks like we've got the pyramids of Giza. We can see his fist here. He's wearing the big iron gauntlet that he's got on his hand, which is kind of cool. We have Godzilla vaulting out of the sea, which he likes to do quite often. Then we have, it looks like inside the Hollow Earth, we have Kong kind of swinging his way through the Hollow Earth. We have a submarine. It looks like the humans are on a submarine here. Underwater, we have a submarine, and then we have Godzilla side by side, doing his atomic breath underwater, which is pretty damn cool. And it looks like he's firing up through the ice, so it looks like there's going to be a scene where Godzilla's coming up through the ice. They could be in Antarctica, North Pole, South Pole, something like that. But yeah, this looks pretty damn cool. Then we have Kong. He turns around, and that shadow that's on his face, it looks like it's probably going to be Scar King. He's literally looking up. It looks like Scar King's going to be a lot bigger than he is. Or it could be Shimu, the Frost Dragon. That could be a possibility. Then we have this scene here where Godzilla is in Rome, the Colosseum, and you just see him inside the Colosseum, which is so damn cool. That scenery, just classic Colosseum. Godzilla inside it. Then it looks like we have a drone, which is kind of approaching him. You can see Godzilla here in the middle. He's inside the Colosseum. That looks badass. Again, it looks like we're inside the Hollow Earth or Axis Mundi. One of the two. Axis Mundi is kind of a world between... You have the surface world. You have Axis Mundi, which is kind of like a tunnel world. And then underneath Axis Mundi, you have the Hollow Earth. So it's those two kind of layers. Axis Mundi was in the Apple TV Monsterverse series. Where humans have been before. Then we have another scene of Godzilla in Rome, by the look of it. This is what really piqued my interest in this footage. So we have Godzilla here on the right, and then we have this huge kind of crustacean crab titan that he's fighting in the middle of the city. You can see here, look, he's fighting this crab. That looks super... And look, he literally grabs it and throws it down the street. Throws it through the building, which is pretty badass. Man, that would terrify me. This giant crustacean, it's like huge crab. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. So yeah, that looks cool. Godzilla fighting this giant crab titan. Then again, it looks like we're inside the Hollow Earth. We've got Kong having a nice kind of nice moment with this girl. It looks like this girl here is going to be one of the tribes from inside the Hollow Earth. She's from some sort of shaman kind of tribe. It looks like they have some sort of control over Titans maybe, or kind of have a relationship. You know, their ancestors have a relationship with the Titans to some degree. But some of the story is going to be focusing around this girl here. Then we have Scar King himself. Then this is supposed to be Scar King's child, I think, or some sort of relation to Scar King. He's going to play a major factor in the movie. He's probably going to betray his dad, Scar King, or, you know, whoever Scar King is to him, betraying him and helping out Godzilla and Kong to defeat Scar King in the movie somehow. Then you can see Scar King here jumping off the cliff. And it looks like early on in the film, this could potentially be a throwdown between Kong and Scar King. I think that early on in the film, Kong is going to try and take on Scar King by himself. He's going to get defeated, and then he's going to realize that he needs Godzilla's help to try and take him down. But, yeah. So, we have this fight scene between Kong and Scar King here. Again, I'm sorry I can't actually play the footage due to copyright. But yeah, you can see it here. It looks like Scar King jumps on top of Kong's back. So that's pretty savage. Wraps the kind of... he's got this kind of belt that's built out of like a spinal cord. And it looks like he uses that as a weapon. Then we have this wicked scene here where Kong, he looks up. He has this light shine on his face. He looks up, and this is what he sees. He sees this here, which is really, really badass. This looks cool. This is going to be our first introduction to Shimo. Is it Shimo or Shimu? Bear with me 1 second. I keep forgetting the name. Shimo, I think it's called, yeah. So, this ice dragon here, it's in a cave. It's got these, like, chains tied around its neck. It's kind of chained up inside. It looks like Scar King has been keeping it as a kind of a pet, to some degree. And, yeah, look at it, man. It looks badass. It's, like, got frost kind of, around it. And, glowing breath here. But this Titan, I cannot wait to see it. I think it's going to become a fan favorite straight away. And, Shimo looks absolutely insane. Does this massive frost blast at Kong. Kong has his classic axe. It's like an axe, and he has one of the spines from Godzilla. In Godzilla vs. Kong, he makes the axe out of one of the spinal plates of Godzilla. And it looks like he's using that to deflect this frost blast from Shimo. As you can see here, he's doing his best to protect himself from the blast. Let's keep going. Godzilla underwater, glowing pink eyes, man. This guy looks so badass. He looks fantastic. I can't wait to see this kind of pink power up that Godzilla's going to have. You know, what kind of powers is it going to give him? You know, what kind of what kind of abilities will it give him? This is where I'm kind of interested. So, let's keep going. So, again, Godzilla launching himself out of the water, landing in the street. Wow, look at that. Scar King here, he's got a building on the edge of this, this kind of rope built out of a spinal cord. He's got a building that he's flinging. We're actually going to be flinging buildings at each other. This is how big these Titans are, where they can literally fling buildings at each other. Like, that's absolutely insane. Let's keep going. So yeah, look at that. He's flinging this entire building here. Crazy. Here we go. Flings an entire apartment building at Kong. Kong looks like he deflects it, but Kong looks pretty pissed off there. Then we cut to the scene here. You can see Shimo here. Here's his head. Godzilla's body behind. So Godzilla and Shimo are having this massive throwdown in the middle of the city. This is going to be super intense. This is going to be awesome. This is going to be one of the best scenes of the movie by far. I can't wait to see this. So they're crashing through this building. It looks like this building is made out of paper. These Titans just smash through it like it's not even there. Then we see Scar King kind of getting in on the battle. He drop kicks Kong by the look of it. Yeah, Kong drop kicks him, sorry. Godzilla here, again, powering up with his pink power up. Looks insane. He's going to be going crazy with that power. Then we have Kong here. He punches Scar King in the face. And Scar King's tooth crashes through a building and lands in the street. He uses the gauntlet, punches Scar King, the tooth goes flying out and lands in the street. And the tooth is the same size of a car. That gives you the perspective on how big these Titans are, which is kind of crazy. And then we have Godzilla smashing through the ice by the look of it. Using his pink power-up. And then we have that kind of final scene where Kong is riding on the back of Godzilla as they're running through the Hollow Earth. Kind of crazy stuff. But yeah, guys, that's the footage that we have. Our first introduction to Shimo, the frost dragon, and Scar King kind of throwing buildings around with his big whip. Just crazy, crazy, ridiculous stuff, but it looks insane. So, guys, I came across this on Twitter earlier. Some guy in Blender actually created a scene of Kong coming up against Shimo. This is not in the movie. This is a fan-made trailer that was done in Blender, and it looks so incredible. If someone had told me it was from the movie, I would have thought it was. But check out this. This looks insane. I'm going to mute the audio just for copyright. Yeah, I mean, just look at that. That looks incredible. That's a fan-made clip made in Blender. That looks insane. Let's watch it again quickly. Yeah, look at all the particle effects and everything. It looks insane. It looks so, so good. I actually thought this was from the movie when I first saw it. And he does his, yeah, man, that looks great. That whoever made that needs a job. They need to be given a job, you know, in Hollywood to some degree, because that looks incredible. And then we had someone reply. Let's have a look at this Twitter post. So this is in response to that clip that we just saw. They responded with, "You got that scene right." Then we have a clip again of an actual real clip. I believe this is from the movie. You can see Shimo here, chained up at the neck, got these kind of ice crystals on his back, and you know, his breath is kind of glowing blue. And then he shoots his ice breath at Kong here. But yeah, this Titan here, man, he looks look how big he is compared to Kong. He like overtowers Kong by like twice the size. So he's absolutely ginormous. I can't wait to see what they do with Shimo. He's going to look absolutely crazy. The epic battle continues. Legendary Pictures Cinematic Monsterverse follows up the explosive showdown of Godzilla vs. Kong with an all-new adventure that pits the almighty Kong and fearsome Godzilla against a colossal, undiscovered threat hidden within our world, challenging their existence and our own. Godzilla and Kong, the new empire, delves further into the histories of these titans and their origins, as well as mysteries of Skull Island and beyond, while uncovering the mythic battle that helped forge these extraordinary beings and tied them to humankind forever. So now that you've glimpsed the latest developments in Godzilla x Kong saga, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Are you eagerly anticipating the clash of these iconic titans in the new empire? Do the new additions to the Titan roster, especially the menacing Scar King, raise your excitement levels even higher? They definitely do. They definitely do. When I first heard of Scar King in that teaser trailer way back, I was like, really? They're going to be fighting another ape? That's kind of a little bit on the nose. Another ape. We've already got Kong. We don't need another ape. But now that we've seen him in action, he looks badass. He's literally throwing an entire apartment building at other Titans. So he's kind of badass. And yeah, I can't wait to see what he does. But guys, that kind of rounds up, you know, the news that we have for this video. But we do have a bonus video that I wanted to show you guys. Another Twitter video which I came across. So we have this Godzilla 8mm found footage analog horror video clip that someone's created. It looks amazing. So it's a found footage movie of someone out the front of their house, and Godzilla is kind of approaching their house, and it looks incredible. And I just wanted to show you guys this footage before we round off the live stream. And yeah, so let's play this. I don't think it's going to get copyrighted, but I'm going to play it without audio. If you do want to hear it with the audio, go onto Twitter, go on to Danny Donahue, and just look down on his Twitter post, and you'll find this Godzilla 8mm found footage. And you'll hear it. It's an analog. It's really great. The audio is cool, but I don't want to play the audio just in case copyright. But we'll check out the footage anyway. So yeah, the following footage was shot by Henry R. Hill of New York in 1954. It was released to the public in 2024 by court order. The audio is from the interview conducted with Mr. Hill in 1960. So it's a found footage as if it's actually real. It's as if someone encountered Godzilla for real. And this audio recording is kind of talking about that. Then we'll get to the footage. So this is what the footage looks like from a found footage camcorder perspective from 1954. And I think this looks really fascinating. I would love to see a film like this as someone filming Godzilla from an actual camcorder. So Godzilla's like that, approaching their house. You can see his eyes glowing, and it's just this kind of silhouette. And the light from the lighthouse is kind of shining on him. But this looks incredible. I think this looks really, really cool. Godzilla's approaching towards him. And then Godzilla kind of walks past him, doesn't actually attack him. Godzilla ignores him like he's not even there. And yeah, it looks really, really cool. Really compelling footage. It looks really cool. And then the guy goes on to talk about, towards the end of this video, he talks about, he has nightmares about that encounter that he had with Godzilla. It's been 6 years since he saw Godzilla, and the impacts on his health due to the radiation that was coming off of Godzilla. As Godzilla passed his house, and as he was recording Godzilla, the radiation spike from Godzilla affected his health, and then he died shortly after this interview and after he made this footage due to radiation sickness. But guys, like I said, go on to Twitter, Danny Donahue, check it out. Watch it with the actual volume on. It's really, really cool. It's only a few minutes long, but the footage is epic. And the whole thing is just really, really cool. But yeah, guys, that's gonna round out our live stream for tonight. That's the subjects that we've talked about. Obviously, our main topic here, the Chinese trailer for Godzilla x Kong. We saw plenty of new footage in there. The first encounter between Kong and Shimu the Frost Dragon is my most anticipated part of the movie. I can't wait to see that dragon. It looks insane. But guys, if you are watching this, not live, and, you know, make sure you do subscribe. Make sure you jump into the comment section. Let me know what you think about these pieces of news. What was your favorite? If you have any thoughts, comments, and opinions, please put it down in the comment section below. I would love to hear what you have to say. And as always, I thank you for being here, checking out my content. Make sure you go over to my channel and check out my other content if you're interested. We talk about everything to do with pop culture news. And again, thank you so much for being here, guys. I will see you soon.